Hello and welcome back to the Small Space Podcast. My name is Trae.
And I hit the table. I'm sorry. My name is not Trae.
Your name is the guy who hits the table.
My name is the guy who hits the table. It is still a very small space. Don't let it. Don't do.
It is
do
a
not
very
be
small space.
misled.
It is very tiny.
And mine is a little lower than yours.
Yours is a bit lower, yeah.
But you are also a long boy.
I'm a pretty long boy.
And you're in a taller chair,
yeah,
so
it makes a bit more sense.
I don't know. So really, there's no excuse for my actions.
Soon we'll have hopefully a larger space.
Soon we will have
hopefully a larger space.
Define soon. Define larger.
A bit more open.
Okay.
Within the next few months.
Okay.
So those are soon things. It would be.
Do you have things like in mind, or are you just like hopefully?
No, like I have a few things in mind. It just depends on how other things go.
Yeah. The set's currently totally in your jurisdiction at this point.
As of right now.
I can't offer much to that.
If anything, we would just move rooms.
Right.
I'll explain later. It'd be cool.
Okay. Fantastic. Hey, it's a Small Space Podcast, everybody.
Episode 4.
Episode 5.
Oh my goodness,
We've
5.
done 5 weeks of this.
Wow, you're 5
consistently. That second one was kind of weird. But,
yeah, but I mean, from here on out, from then on out.
From then on out, it was good.
Yeah, we're doing good.
And I mean, we started 5 weeks ago.
Yeah,
we kind of did 2 in 1 week to make up for. It was cold.
It was.
And it was
there
dangerous.
was snow everywhere, and it was the road connecting us to was pretty much closed.
Yeah. I drove it a couple of times.
I would. You were a brave man.
It was a scary time.
Much more brave than I.
I was fine, though.
That's good. I'm glad.
So, podcast, you're here. You know, I'm realizing we keep saying, like, oh, you can find it on YouTube and iTunes and da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. If they're listening to it, they found one of them.
That's very true.
Yeah. So if you wanted to go somewhere else, if you're on YouTube, or you have the option of iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, that's it.
Perhaps for somebody who may not have one of those platforms, their friend could recommend, hey, you don't have YouTube for some reason, but you have Apple Music, go to the podcast section, look up Small Space Podcasts, and we're there.
Yeah. And,
Speaking of Small Space Podcasts, we did get a fancy new logo today.
We did get a fancy new logo.
That'll be on all the things later today.
Cool.
Yeah, once this is
uploaded. We hadn't
talked
talked about when we're putting it where or what. And
not at all. We just got this new fancy thing today, so.
Yeah, it looks sleek.
It is.
And clean.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Are you looking for sleek and clean designs?
And look towards the Small Space Podcast logo and others like it.
Because they are one of those.
We are
sleek and clean designs.
Quote Small Space Podcast 2018.
2018, yeah. Oh boy. Okay.
Let's get started.
Okay.
How do we?
First things first.
First things first.
We should talk about.
Let's address the content.
We should talk
thing.
about We should talk about the big. I can't think of his name. Vault Boy Elephant in the Room.
Yeah. So here's what it was.
Yeah.
We had an idea for something that we wanted to do content-wise.
Yes.
And we put it together, and it did not turn out how we wanted it to.
Yes. We were not satisfied
with the final result. So what we did is we decided we were going to wait until we have everything planned out more properly, and just post it at a later time.
I want to do, because I told you we kind of did the podcast more or less on a whim.
Right.
And we're just going to start recording it and see what happens. And that's worked out pretty well, I think. And, it took like a couple episodes
to get into swing of things, but
we're pretty much there.
We fucking got it.
We pretty much got it.
Dang, now I got to bleep that out.
Oh.
Just
we got it.
For the hope that one day we get ads.
Well, who knows? So what was I saying? Oh, we did that. It's worked out.
Yeah.
We kind of tried the same thing
with
an additional piece of content,
and it did not work in the way we wanted it.
Not quite the way. It was almost there, but it was like that kind of thing. I feel like should probably be a little more solid from the start,
from the get-go. So now we're working on it. I'd say we've got a pretty solid starting place, and we're kind of working things out, but it'll be a while.
We're gonna make it all nice and pretty for you.
Yeah, but
because if you care, Justin.
Yeah, Justin. This is specifically for you.
For you, Justin. The one person that's tried to keep us accountable.
I told him
the past 2-3 podcasts, however long ago we mentioned doing
this. I told him that when we get merch, whenever that is, we'll send him free stuff. And he's like, heck yeah.
Heck yeah,
So
boy.
we'll definitely hook you up with that for sure.
Yeah, for being so patient and kind. Mostly kind.
Mostly kind, but also patient.
Also patient. You were a little pushy. I definitely said we had 2 weeks, and then we still didn't post about the second week, but that's fine.
It was understandable about the second week, though, because he was like, hey, though.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
He got us on that one.
Yeah. You right. But I just wanted to do it justice to anyone that cares.
Justice to Justin.
Yes.
And the rest of them.
To anyone that cares, Justin. And to ourselves.
Yeah.
I think we owe it to ourselves to make sure we can do a good thing from the start.
I think that we want to be, concise with everything that we put into this. Because I think
factual.
That this is that's going to be more important than the podcast, essentially. Like, we're going to put more thought and time and effort into that.
Correct.
Than us talking about topics and things we want to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. So eventually we will get it out there. We're working on things to do that with and for and on.
And to.
But we'll get there.
And about.
I ran out of and words.
And part of the thing we want to do is get better equipment.
Most definitely. And I am all on top of that right now. I have everything in my cart ready for purchase, just waiting on money to purchase it.
That is exciting.
I don't
have things in my cart because I also have my own personal arsenal that I would like to build. I haven't even begun to put it in my cart because there's no point right now.
So
I have a lot of things.
I want to go into some detail here because I'm sure someone out there might care a little bit about what we're stepping into. Looking at the Canon Rebel SL2, or known outside of the US as the 200D, will be the camera of choice that we are going to pick up.
Why is the US gotta make everything different?
It's a real pain in the butt, honestly.
Come on, metric system.
Yeah, I was like, as far as measurements and whatnot, the US is kind of they're their own thing. They do their own thing, literally.
They make it abundant. We say they like we're not part of it.
We make it our own thing.
The country as a whole. Sorry, I'm sliding this if you hear it.
To be fair, we didn't have the option. They're like, hey, do you want to do it this way or this way? They were just like, here it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And anyway. But so just another reason that America's got to be different.
Right.
You got to call the same camera something different.
Canon 200D or Rebel SL2 delivers the best autofocus and camera options in that price range. It shares the same sensor as a couple cameras more expensive than it. So video quality and photo quality for the most part would be similar to those. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't have quite as big of a processor, which means focus points and things like that aren't as abundant. But for the things that we are doing and I will be doing, definitely don't need anything too crazy yet.
Factual.
Yeah.
I'm just realizing.
Yeah.
Your waves are so much larger than mine.
Maybe I'm talking a lot louder and more.
No. I also am just realizing your gain is turned up a little bit. It's probably fine because I've sort of corrected because I noticed a little bit of that when we checked the audio earlier. Uh-huh. And I fixed mine a little bit to kind of match. Uh-huh. But that's probably why. It's fine.
Should it be fine? It'll be fine.
It is fine.
We could always edit it after.
It'll be fine.
Gotcha.
Guess what?
What's that?
It's fine.
Good. Speaking of microphones and gain and all that, I am looking at a pair of Audio-Technica. I think it's the A2020s, A2020, AT2020. I think it's A2020. Mm-hmm. But they're one of the best microphones that you can get around the $100 price range. And they sound pretty dang good.
Are we like lavaliers or what kind of... Oh, for this. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is all news to me, by the way. We save some of the stuff so that I can have genuine reactions
right.
to the podcast.
It's also for everything else that I plan to do too.
Right, yeah.
But, yeah. So
Same.
I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, the Audio-Technica A2020 microphones, and then just the Scarlet Red USB interface for that.
Oh, this is Scarlet Red.
On a completely different but also awesome and technical note, I have thrown in a pair of Sennheiser headphones because I deserve them.
Because is that the pair?
The pair that we watched the video on?
Dude.
So
I keep wanting to go back and watch it again to like review it. Because I only watched it that one time through. And I was like, man, I don't need them.
But I want them.
But I want them.
So for those of you who might care, Unbox Therapy, awesome YouTube channel. If you haven't checked him out, you should. Not that I'm throwing his name out there or that he would ever see this in any way.
Like, he doesn't know us. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
but he did a review over these new wireless Sennheiser headphones. And let me tell you what.
What?
Just from that video and from what I've read over the past week since I've seen it, they sound like some pretty darn good headphones.
Pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good headphones.
And fancy as all of the get out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like there's a feature where you can double tap on the ear cup and the music lowers itself, but there are microphones on the outside so you can hear what's going on around you.
Yeah, it adjusts to like 3 levels of noise cancellation, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that right? Which is cool. Because usually it's just on or off noise cancellation.
And so you get the option of how much you actually want to be able to hear. I just think for the cost of the headphone and the what it's boasting, definitely worth it.
What were they like?
$299.
$299?
Yeah. And I mean, if you're looking at like studio grade, like those kind of headphones, that's they're all in that price range.
Very like multifunctional.
Definitely.
Music mixing, all the above.
Everything you can do with headphones.
Yes.
You can do with these headphones.
Which is
everything.
Everything you can do with headphones. What all can you do with headphones? You can listen to things.
You could talk to people on them. You could answer phone calls. Communicate through them.
You're already like making me think this list is going to be a little longer than I was ready for. I was like, you can look real cool walking down the sidewalk at your college.
Very true. The
with
only,
them around your neck, not on your head.
I would say, the only useful thing that I could think of is answering phone calls besides listening to music.
Besides listening to music.
Headphones only really serve those two services.
These also with the noise cancellation, you can tune out the world.
Yeah, definitely. Or tune it in.
Yeah, microphones.
You know what you should do with those headphones? Speaking of tuning in, tune into the Small Space Podcast.
Yeah,
definitely.
You and all your friends. Get a pair for you and a pair for each friend that should listen.
If you have enough money to do that, please contact me directly, and I will send you personal conversations of just me talking to myself if that's what you really want to hear for headphones.
Whatever audio you want me to provide,
I will get it to you.
I'll find a way.
I can't promise it'll be of good quality. Or of any quality at all.
Anything better than the podcast at this point.
Right. I can get you that grade.
When we get new mics.
Yeah.
So it'll be better there. But
Sennheiser, please sponsor us.
please. Also, tech news that is unrelated. It's basically just this week on tech news. Why do I always default to like a news reporter from like whatever year that would be where they had to speak very sharply into the mic to pick it up because those older mics?
I think at any point in time, like you add comedy to like a news or a radio station, and that's how you
would immediately all the way back.
Assume. Well, I'm sitting here talking about podcast. That's right, the rave of the day, podcast.
Well, this week in tech news. There's an astronaut flying around space in a convertible car.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I know I talked about him a lot last week. It probably wasn't too much, so I can talk about him some more.
You can talk about Elon Musk as much as you want.
I want to be best friends with Elon. I've said this to a few people, not because he's got a lot of money,
but because he's a genius and super awesome.
He's a genius. He's super awesome. I just feel like we would have a good time.
Yeah, nice conversation.
Except he's definitely too busy to have a friend like me.
I mean,
like, I know he does stuff, but
everybody does stuff.
But oh my goodness,
he would just invite you out to like a helicopter, lobster luncheon, as you tour Italy.
Okay.
And you guys would just talk about that dish from business and
from that one Italian restaurant.
Yeah, he would fly down and get it for you, and then fly right back up. You know why? Because he's such a
a nice guy.
Dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But so aside from the fact that they test launched the world's most powerful operational reusable rocket,
those are a lot of things.
That's a lot of things that I was ready for watching the launch. Starman comes busting out into orbit, and we're like, wait, what? I don't know how many, so I looked on SpaceX's YouTube channel after that and was looking through some other stuff, and I saw the day before the launch, they uploaded an animated video, just like a rendering of what was going to happen, and that was in there. That was like at the end, and I was like, I don't know that they said in that video, or in the description, I didn't read it, I should have, but if they said that was going to happen, or if it was just like, oh, look at this funny thing, and then it actually happened the next day, and that's what made a lot of people that did see that even more like insane. But like Tesla Roadster with the top down and a mannequin astronaut driving it, and Starman by David Bowie playing,
it was just fantastic.
I like was almost in tears. I was like laughing, but also like, this is the best thing. This is what the future is supposed to be.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Like, Elon Musk is essentially, he's as like crazy with his ideas and what the things that he actually does as like an evil genius and like a comic book evil genius.
Right,
you know?
but he's
like, oh, I'm gonna shoot a car into space and
you can't catch me this time, Batman.
This week on Evil Genius Elon Musk, working title.
Working title.
Pilot episode. Get it? Pilot?
That was good.
Oh, wow.
That was a quick. That was a quickie but a goodie.
That was a quickie but a goodie. And the screen says "Don't panic" on the dash. Oh god. And so I'm not sure if that's like it's on its way to Mars. Is that what's happening?
I think so.
Or is it just where it's just gonna go somewhere?
If anybody who watches this knows that fact, tell us.
Yeah, it's either that or like, sure, I don't think it's like put in orbit. That would be odd. But I'm pretty sure on the car they engraved like made from planet Earth by humans. It's like just in case.
Just in case, yeah, you never know.
Just in case some other life forms.
See, because here's a crazy thing. Like, let's step into.
I found a picture of that.
Let's step into this crazy theory for a second, and let's say that the government is actually hiding like extraterrestrials from us, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like they know that they already exist. Yeah, like, and they're just hiding.
Like, for example, let's just say that NASA knows there are some kind of extraterrestrial on Mars.
Yes.
Now, if Elon Musk flies his big fancy spaceship there, and we come back with data that there's extraterrestrials, what do you even do at that point? Like, then does the entire, like, U.S. be like, okay, government, now we've been believing you for a long time, but here's proof. Then what? Then they're going to be like, then what's going to happen? That's what I'm curious to know.
But in that situation, it would be Elon Musk that reveals to the entire world that aliens are definitely a real thing.
I just want to let you guys know that my spaceship just got back from Mars, and...
Oh, here you go. It's printed on the circuit board of a car in deep space. A car. On a car in deep space. Made on Earth by humans.
Made on Earth by humans.
Isn't that amazing?
Beautiful. It is. I really hope...
Elon, be best friends with me, please.
I really hope that Elon Musk does find extraterrestrials on Mars. Like, more than anything, that'd be the coolest thing ever.
Oh, I didn't even think Mars. I guess that's still a possibility, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where they are. I'm thinking, like, if they're not in the first 9, they're definitely in the next galaxy or something.
I mean, they're out there somewhere. Space is literally ever expanding.
Yes. It is very large.
Yeah. So, Elon, I hope you find something great there. Just thanks for being you, dude.
Thanks for being you. Keep giving me hope for a more fun future.
While we're talking about technology, I want to touch on my favorite piece of technology as of right now, and that is the Nintendo Switch. Ladies and gentlemen, what a beautiful item.
That could have gone anywhere. I was ready. I was ready for
outcome.
I was ready for like a poop joke.
I do have one of those coming up for you, but we'll save that.
I kind of got that. So I was like...
I have personally owned a Nintendo Switch for a little while.
And I have not.
And let me just say, Breath of the Wild, what an amazing game.
Oh, yeah.
That you start with a title like that, you're thinking, man, it can't get better from here, right? Wrong. Then you give us Super Mario Odyssey. What a gem. What a great game. It's a great, like, I don't want to say homage because it's not necessarily like that, but like, I guess recollection of what Super Mario 64 was. Mm-hmm. And it is beautiful and perfect in every way it could be. Soundtrack is beautiful. The landscapes are awesome. There are so many like fun little, very anger-inducing challenges to find other things. It's just a great game. And yeah, a game that is also good, but nowhere near held highly as those two, is Stardew Valley, and it has been consuming my life for about 2 weeks now on the Nintendo Switch.
We talked about it last week a little bit.
Yeah, and
it was already consuming your life then.
Since
it's
last
gotten
week,
worse.
it's gotten so much worse.
It's gotten so much worse.
If I'm not talking to my fiance or talking to, pretty much no. If I'm not,
yeah, that's it.
Even sometimes then too. Yeah. Actually, I'm always playing Stardew Valley.
I was like, does that normally stop you?
Yeah,
from,
like me and
playing the game?
Me and Kristen will be FaceTiming, and I'll just be like, pull out my Switch, turn it on, and then I'm just like, farming. And it's
farming.
I don't know why I find it so addicting. I'm like, okay, I know those crops aren't gonna grow tomorrow, so I can save it and go to bed. And then I'm like, I really need to upgrade my pickaxe because I'm going mining tomorrow. And then it's just a never-ending cycle of things I need to get done.
There's for the world is like pretty small.
Mm-hmm. But there's
so much to do.
Do you know a fun fact about that game?
No.
It was created by one person.
Oh yeah, I did know that.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like you are about to go into. I saw a video that was like 100 facts, unknown facts about Stardew Valley.
And one of them was that.
And one of them was it was created by one person. And like, you Turk.
You did a great
amazing
job. Yeah, for one person. I mean, even for a team of people, that game would be amazing. I mean, it's awesome.
That's including like all the coding, all the art, all the music.
He did. Yes, he did do the music.
Yeah.
A lot of it was through RPG Maker though, so there was a lot of it was he didn't have to come up with so much of it on his own. Now, he still did a blank ton of work alone, and he did
a space ton.
Yeah. He did a lot of Falcon work.
He did a lot of
but the co-op for that is in a beta phase. There are a few people who have it, which are the guy who created it and his close friends. And I saw a screenshot from his Twitter account from I think it was a month ago or so, of them playing couch co-op, which means at least that works.
Yes.
So nonetheless, hopefully soon there will be a couch co-op option for Stardew Valley.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Switch is an amazing console, and if you have the ability to get one or know someone who has one, abuse that ability.
Yes. I don't have a Switch. But I did play Stardew Valley on PC. And I was watching you play earlier, and
as I was doing
your farm, like you do,
always,
as he exists. Your farm looks way nicer than mine did. Like mine were organized, but I did not like put fences or roads, or I didn't expand a whole lot. However, I did get a lot further in other parts of it. And is it necessarily the story? If you go with the community center thing,
yeah, that's
I've got
the biggest
a lot
thing.
of the community center done.
See, I have,
and all of the cave.
I have I'm out of a percentage of 100%. I probably have about 15% done in the community center.
I said all of the cave. I meant the first cave. Did you know there's another cave?
I did not.
Get ready. You got to do more community center to get there, though.
I figured. You have to do community center to do a lot of things.
To get to a lot of places.
And what really sucks is like you have to wait on certain seasons to do some things.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you miss it, that's a year of your life.
Yeah. Like luckily I did everything in spring while I could. So now it's just summertime. Oh no. It's fall now. I didn't do any of the summer things.
Dude.
Oh wait. Just kidding, I did.
Okay.
I just remembered that I was focused on the winter pack.
I was about to be so disappointed in
I was
you.
about to be disappointed in myself. But I appreciate you saying that my farm looks nice.
It does.
I have shown it to a couple of other friends who play Stardew Valley, and they said it looked like garbage. So I really appreciate that compliment.
I mean,
It works for me. It's functional. I make a good bit of non-existent, doesn't matter at all currency.
Oh, yeah.
So
come on, Bitcoin.
I'm living it. Bitcoin's a whole thing, man. I could
It's
have
like
a
it
whole
exists.
podcast.
It doesn't exist, but it exists, and I'm real mad about
Yeah,
it.
we could spend a whole.
I gotta tell you something I don't think I've told you.
Oh man, you got real excited. Please tell me.
Oh no! So Trae and I were talking about Bitcoin and money in general because it doesn't exist and it's
Right.
but it rules the world and it makes me mad because life is hard. All of that aside,
That is an understatement.
that is an understatement. So we were talking about Bitcoin, and I heard a fact, and I did more math on it. I heard a fact that
more
if
math
you
than you should
bought,
have.
I did way more than I should have, and now I'm consumed by it.
Yeah, it's a
If you bought
slippery slope.
in at $100 worth of Bitcoin in 2010, when I heard the fact from, it was a video from May of last year, and they were like, by now, if you had $100 worth of it in 2010, you would have $75 million today. And then December happened. And that same $100 would have been like $450 million.
yeah, because they're up to like what, $20-something thousand.
It was like right at or right below $20,000. And when it first started, it was
You're kidding.
0.00 like 7 cents or something.
See, in
per share.
2010, I was 12.
A child.
So if somebody had been like, hey man, you want to invest in this currency? I'd have been like, first of all, I don't even know what most of those words mean. I'm going to go play with some trucks.
I need to back up for 1 second. We'll get back onto the Bitcoin thing. Did you just say you were 12 in 2010?
Yes.
I don't feel like that's accurate.
Wait. It's 2018 now, right?
Yes.
And I'm 20 years old. So if I go back 8 years, I would have been 12. I would have turned 12 in December of 2009. Turning 13 in 2000.
I still feel like the math is off a little bit, but that's close.
Am I off?
I don't know.
I'm 20 now and it's 2018.
Yeah, but I'm only no, yep.
I was
8 years.
to say.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was 12.
Cool. I'm an old boy.
Hey, that's fine. They're the easiest to love on. If you're talking about dogs.
Yes. Are they the easiest to love on?
Yeah, like old dogs are just kind of like, hey, here I am.
I don't know.
Give me some love.
Sometimes they're like, I'm ready to die. Put me out of my misery.
I've never had a dog like that.
I've seen some
I've
mean old
seen 'em.
dogs.
Yeah.
But they were probably also mean their entire lives.
Probably.
So
Yeah.
I guess, generally they'll probably chill out as they get older.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, here I am.
But Bitcoin, though.
But Bitcoin
Anyway, I don't really care.
It did not chill out as it got older.
It did not chill out. It's chilling out a little bit now.
Yeah, it's chilled out a
compared
bit.
to a couple of months
now
ago.
it's only $6,000
No,
of
16.
Bitcoin.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. No. 8.
It did, okay, I would say I know it's under 10 as of right now.
It's bouncing at like 7, I think, is where it. This is not a financial podcast. It's interesting.
It's just something we talk
because
about a lot.
I don't even know. When it first came out, I was like, me with my old boy self was just like, I don't understand. Like, it's a digital thing. And I've looked into more of it, and now I'm like, I'm even more confused now than I was.
It's a mess.
Then talking about like all the different coins, which I didn't know there was more than Bitcoin.
Yeah,
but there
at first I
are
didn't either,
so many.
There's a metric
And they all
ton.
Yeah, a metric space ton.
I like
small
it.
space and
Yeah,
blank.
space ton. What the space? It doesn't work in that context as well.
Yeah. So what was I saying? So like they're not all like essentially just digital currency. That one pretty much is, but like a bunch of the other ones are like used for like data. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like this amount of numbers sends data, and that's its use case. That's the term one of the terms I've learned in the past couple of days.
Yeah, I don't even know what those words mean together. Yes.
I never told you why I got so excited a minute ago.
Oh, right. Man, we're good at tangents.
So that is what we were talking about the other day.
Yep.
I talked to my dad.
Oh, that thing. You did tell me
I tell
that
you this?
thing. Yeah.
Oh my.
But go ahead and say it again, because it's...
So the world can know.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Put him on blast.
I mean...
So my dad. My dad.
Father.
My pa. My old man. He had a friend of a friend of his, well, it was his wife, a friend of his wife. So she is a friend, but
a friend.
Yeah. Anyway, he had a friend back in, give or take, 2010, 2011 at most.
Somewhere in that time period.
Somewhere in that area. This friend said, "There's gold in them hills."
That was a great. That was good.
It was a good prospector.
Yeah, I liked it. Like if I'd have heard that in a film, I'd have been like, yeah, that guy was a prospector for sure.
It was definitely a prospector in a past life, at least. If not this one. I am old and I have forgotten a lot of things.
Does that make you a prospector? Like, is that all you need to know?
What?
Is that all you have to do is be old and not know things?
No, a prospector for gold. Like.
No. Never mind. Go ahead.
Cool. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, they had a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
Well, they collectively had one friend.
It
was 1 degree.
There was a fucking friend.
It was 1 degree of separate zero, actually, if it's just direct. Anyway.
I think you can say the F word twice.
And we've just hit that limit.
In feature films.
In feature films.
As long as it's not, well, because YouTube is pushing for more like TV and movie regulated guidelines.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm not referring to intercourse when I say it, I can say it 2 times and still be in the technical PG-13 rating, according to TV and film.
Good to know.
Yeah. But I've used both of those times already, so.
So, they had a friend. Yeah, we're still talking about this. They had a friend that was like, hey, Bitcoin's a thing. You should buy it. And Dad was like, nah.
Better not.
Which, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, like, if somebody said to me now, I'd be like, yeah, sure. Well, take some money.
Yeah.
But
it's like, but if you were who you are now
in 2010, definitely not.
Still no. I mean, I was old enough, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't become a person until like, what time is it?
Until
a few hours ago.
A little after 9.
And I'm definitely gonna scratch that remark off the record in the future and be like, now I'm a person.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't know things.
Right.
and that was one of those times where, because I heard of it around that time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, already that sounds confusing.
Right.
I don't want any part of something confusing. Even if it could make me money, it sounds confusing, and I don't like it.
Definitely.
I don't like my brain words to be mixed up.
It's one of those things. It's like it sounds good, but I also don't know if it sounds good enough that I should trust it.
Yes.
Or maybe it sounds too good to trust.
Right.
You know what else is too good to trust?
What's that?
Tattoo artists.
Oh.
So I read something, or watched something recently, of a compilation of tattoos people probably would regret. And the best one of this video was this girl who was dating someone who was a tattoo artist. And
oh no,
she cheated on him.
Oh no.
And he found out about it. And so before they broke up, he convinced her to let him give her a tattoo. And so she picked a scene from the Chronicles of Narnia. And instead received a giant poop with flies and stink waves coming off of it down her entire back. And when I say entire back, I mean like from her shoulder blades down to like your waistline, her waistline.
That's a lot of things.
Is it not a lot of things?
Think about.
It is
my first thought is, does he get in legal trouble for that?
So, yes, he definitely could.
He could?
I don't know that he did, because the video didn't touch on that at all. Mm-hmm. But in the same video, there was a guy who would do like Chinese tattoo symbols. And people would ask for like, one dude specifically asked for strength and honor, and he got small penis.
Mm-hmm.
So he was charged with assault,
Okay.
which I don't know how that makes that assault.
Yeah.
But I'm also not a lawyer or someone who handles legalities.
I'm like, I wonder if that would fall under like defamation or
Of person?
like
Defamation of... Yeah, I don't know.
because
But
it's like it's like an ad on their
Right.
on body.
But basically, yeah, this dude drew a giant poop on her back because she cheated on him. And so, like, like, that's kind of savage right there. That's a very ballsy thing to do.
We have covered that I am too nice of a person, and there's no way I would be able to do that.
But
I would feel bad immediately, like, oh no.
I just thought it was funny. I thought it was funny, to be honest.
Wow.
So, yeah, be careful who you get your ink from, my friends. Be sure you can see it when, he starts.
I wanted to tell you about the past couple of weeks.
Yep.
I have had interactions with people of various degrees of fame.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, let's get into it. I have not.
I think it's just interesting because literally in the past 2 weeks,
I'll tell you the most famous person that I've ever interacted with on any platform. Taze on Day,
Okay.
the Chocolate Rain.
Days on day.
Yeah, him. He follows me on Twitter. For what reason?
Oh yeah. You
I don't
told
know.
me that. Yeah.
But he definitely does, and I saw it, and I was like,
I'll take it.
all right, what a cool day. Like,
So did I say something
was
that
like,
showed up on his feed somehow, one way or another?
how did he find that I said something? Why did he follow me? Like, can I DM him and ask him to watch my podcast?
Come on, Chocolate Rain. He probably has his DMs privated or
Yeah.
blocked.
Well, I mean,
or
he
whatever
follows
it's
me,
called.
so.
Yeah, but I think you can still just like disable.
Oh, maybe so. Private
DMs
messages
at all.
You
So
ever hear this though? Watch
so
the
here's the
podcast.
thing.
Go ahead.
So there's a couple of people. Where did it go?
Yeah, I think you told me about one, but
So, okay. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's all of this is social media.
right. I had assumed as much because if it had been IRL, I feel like it'd be a much different conversation.
And so there's so many times. Well, I can tell you about an IRL one. That's funny. There's so many times that you, and everyone else will like comment on someone's thing.
Right.
Just a comment, your
Yeah.
thoughts.
Totally
Definitely never expecting them to actually
To say
read it.
something back, right?
And most of them didn't say anything, but they did acknowledge it.
Uh-oh.
So I think the first one was actually Eric Whitaker. I don't know if you heard of him, or if I've probably talked about him to you before.
Maybe, I don't know.
He's a choir guy.
Oh, okay.
He's
Definitely not.
He's a famous. He's basically the Michael Jackson of choir right now.
Gotcha. That's
That's
a perfect analogy.
He's a pop star in the choir world.
Right.
A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. Most people love him.
As pops. I think that's kind of how it goes. You love him.
Yes.
Obviously.
I love him, and this is not the first time, but I commented on like a Facebook post of his, and he liked it
Oh,
like so fast, and I was like, yeah. And he's done that before. Like, he's liked some of my stuff like 5 times,
oh, damn.
and said that I had 2 tweets about I'm gonna list all these people. I said various levels of fame. You're probably not gonna know any of them except for
I may know a few.
me showing them to you or mentioning it.
Who knows?
2 of them were from Sam Basher.
I do know who Sam Basher is.
You do know Sam Basher?
I know Sam Basher.
Sam Basher from the SourceFed and the Sam Basher channel on.
So I haven't watched any of his own stuff.
Yeah.
But I've watched a few podcasts with him in them.
Yeah. And so like I've tweeted twice and like tagged him about something, and both times he's been like I was like, yeah.
Next
thanks,
time you
Sam.
tweet him, you should be like, hey, at Sam Basher, tell me how our podcast compares to ones you listen to. And then watch him be like, favorite. And then who knows what could happen.
And then doesn't listen to it, definitely for sure.
He's just like, oh,
Which is
some guy said something about me. Cool.
There's a 40% chance that he'll listen to this podcast.
You know what? When you put it like that, that sounds pretty good, actually.
It's like, that's accurate for this guy, probably. So there's that. I showed you Sam Robson.
Yep.
He's a He's a YouTube guy that
Pretty cool dude.
he does
from what I've
acapella
seen.
arrangements
They're
that
mind
are
blowing.
insane. He's my favorite acapella arrangement guy because that's a big genre on YouTube.
Right. I forgot about our music club as far as giving you an album. So as you talk about music, I'm gonna look at one.
Well, that's
but keep
fine.
talking.
Excuse me. He just did a video, an arrangement of "I Have Nothing" by Whitney Houston.
Oh
with,
yeah.
With another guy.
Ooh, that was good.
Which is Levance Colley. Colley.
That was so good. I normally don't. I'll be honest with you. I'm not crazy about pentatonics and most of those or like groups that do that. Mm-hmm. But that one I thought was really well done. I thought it was really good.
I am a big fan of pentatonics, but Sam has a special place in my heart.
Right.
So I commented like a big long comment, and Sam liked it. And then the guy that was singing, Levance, or the guy that did the lead, commented. And he was like, "Oh, thanks, blah, 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 blah." And then I commented back, and then he commented back. I was like, "We're friends now.
Y'all had a conversation.
We are best friends."
By association, you're actually kind of famous.
Yeah. So all of that's like, and comedian, I don't remember if we showed him to you, Mike Kaplan.
I know of him.
Yeah. We, which his is a whole thing. I've had like 2 likes from him in the past 2 weeks.
That's dope too.
His is a whole thing because I went to one of his shows last year while I was in Denver. He was doing a few shows that weekend, or like 2 or whatever. We went to the first one and ended up talking to him beforehand via DM on Twitter.
That's dope.
And we were like, "Hey, well, actually, no. I think it was after the first one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me
take
get it together. Let me make sure I get this right." So we go to the show, meet him, a nice guy, picture, yada yada.
Right.
And then like later that night or like the next morning, we're like DMing him on Twitter, like, "Hey, we see that you're still in the area. If you're not doing anything, we'd like to take you out." And he was like, "I actually have another show tonight." We didn't see that he had a show because it was at a different venue from the one we were going to. And he says, "I have a show tonight, but I'll put you guys on the list, so we could get in for free on his special list." And we're like, "Oh, we're best friends now." He's like, "For sure." And then after the show, we go up to him, and he immediately sees us, and he's like, "Hey, new best friends," and we're like, "Oh, we feel so special."
That's awesome. Do you have photographs of when you met him?
Just one from the first night.
But you do have it?
Yeah. It's on my Insta.
Oh, dang. That's how you know it's for real.
I was telling you at the beginning of this whole tangent that there was a funny time in person, and that was another comedian, like a few weeks later, really, that I see. I like a lot of stand-up, and I check it out a lot.
I know what album I'm going to give you.
So
you may not.
This guy, Steve Hofstetter, do you know him?
No, definitely not.
He's big.
Sounds like he could be funny, though, just with it based on the name.
Dude, he's hilarious. And he's big on YouTube, I think, because he records like almost every set that he does, and there's almost always some heckler incident,
and he says something,
and he records like he posts like that bit because he just always destroys them in the best ways.
That's great.
So go to see him at the Hard Rock Cafe in Denver, downtown, and it's just like in the front little dining area. There's a stage and a balcony, and beforehand we're waiting. I was like, well, I gotta go to the bathroom, and so I go up and I go into the bathroom, and he goes to the stall next to me, and I was like, oh crap,
literally.
Okay. And then like I'm not about to be like, hey, I like your stuff, like peeing a urinal or whatever, and so yada we like pass each other kind of awkwardly. It's tight space, small space actually, and go through the whole show. We're like in the front row, and then see him afterward, and he was like, hey, I met you in the bathroom briefly earlier. I was like, yeah you did.
I think you're real
thanks. Anyway,
I like that.
So I've had a lot of moderately famous, at least,
interactions.
People interactions.
You're one step closer to fame than I am.
I'm working on it.
Yep.
It's all about network. It's all about who you know.
It's all about who you know.
It's not what you know. It's who you know.
Everybody says that.
A little bit of it is what you know, but that's not the point.
Yeah, no. Once you know the right people, they can teach you what you need to know.
Yeah, as long as you're not a piece of garbage, and
right,
they'll be like,
yeah, come on,
we'll throw you a bone.
we'll show you what's up.
Well, yeah, we'll teach you what's good.
We'll learn you what's proper. What
We'll
an ironic
We'll
sentence.
give you some information that is valid to this line of work.
We will provide you with the necessary knowledge to captivate and cultivate your lifestyle.
Well, we'll squeeze a wet dog on a white van.
Oh.
That's another way of saying the exact same thing. Swear.
Is that an actual thing?
Oh yeah. I spoke it into existence, didn't I?
I didn't. I meant prior to that existence.
Oh no.
Oh, but now
For sure not.
Now it's gonna be something
Yeah.
that I was saying.
We'll squeeze a wet dog into a white van.
Basically, people's like, well, how do I find out more information? We just squeeze a wet dog onto a white van. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, wow, this guy's either a rapist, a drug dealer, or all of the above.
Or all of the above. I've got to be his best friend.
Definitely. That's what I would think in that situation.
Yes. Oh my god. I have way too many notes on here.
Do you?
I'm like,
I've said everything that I have written down except for
oh, that's
Music
good.
Club. Yeah, so.
All right. So, in that case,
Yep.
I'll save probably where are we sitting here? 40.
About 46.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you a story. Because I told you I wanted to tell you the story.
I got you. I do have one more question for you that's related to the bathroom.
Oh,
That will
okay.
take no time at all, so we can do it in whatever order you'd like to.
Okay. Well, let's save that one. I feel like that'll be a good finish.
Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, I could have a good conversation.
That's another little pun there.
Mm.
Okay. So, I was just thinking about like crazy things
Right.
that I've seen
Crazy,
to valid
insane things.
to various like extents.
Mm.
And I just thought about like, have you ever seen a fight
Like
in person?
people fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a school or
Yeah.
whatever.
They used to do that in the locker room for fun in
Yeah.
junior high. I did not
To
understand it.
how bad did the worst one get?
The worst one that I've ever seen in person
Yeah.
has never gotten that bad.
It's never gotten that bad?
No, not a fight that I've seen in person. I've seen some pretty grueling things in person, but not a fight.
Right. So I worked for college while I was attending there, and I was a residential assistant.
Oh, an RA.
RA.
Yeah, you should have said that before you said residential assistant. Because I was like, what? What did they do? And then I was like, RA.
I was an RA. It stands for something.
Yeah.
One
guy who's mean to everybody in the dorm.
Yeah, that was me. So it matters to the story a little.
A bit.
Just for me personally.
A tad.
We are in the dining hall one evening.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty empty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting at a booth with some friends, and they're like round tables that are not bolted to the ground,
The
scattered.
fact that you threw that detail in there
You caught that. Okay, cool.
is a bit of foreshadowing, I believe.
Well, I'm just saying they can move.
The tables can move.
Our school is very big on its basketball team,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of those guys were sitting at a couple of those tables right next to us.
Okay.
And in a very, very short amount of time, it goes from being really quiet in there to one of the guys broke a plate over another guy's head, slit his face open,
Wow.
and threw him over the table, and like tables flying everywhere and everything.
Right.
And we're just sitting there like, we're going to die.
Yeah, you're like, well,
Because
this was nice.
We can't get by them because they're blocking, like, it's a very, 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 very small
Space.
place. It's so funny how that applies. No, so there's like one way out from where we are, and they are there.
that way.
They are in the way out. And so we're like, we're just going to
just
stay
gotta stay
here
here.
and hope we don't die.
Did you keep eating?
Not at that moment.
I would have kept eating.
I might have been done. I don't remember
Gotcha.
that part. It apparently wasn't.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't the important part of the story. I was
There were other
curious.
things.
Much
happening
more important
that-
things happening.
I was like, I have to work now because these guys live here, and so I have to write a very long report.
Right.
And yada yada yada.
About all of this.
But there was blood everywhere. Like,
I can only imagine.
and it was a white floor, so like,
it was there.
so it was visible.
Yeah.
And like, it was just everywhere.
That's insane.
And I was like, and I feel like there's definitely people that have seen way crazier things than that.
Right.
But for me, I was like, there are 6,000 people that live in this town.
Yeah.
That's very small.
Right.
And one of them just hit another one
With a
next
plate.
to me. That's 3 out of 6,000. And that's a big percent of that population
Yeah.
compared to
Other places, yeah.
Yeah. I just thought about that randomly the other day. I was like, oh, I gotta tell Trae.
insane.
Huh?
That is very insane. Like,
Yeah.
that is a very surreal thing to see.
Yeah.
So, talking about surreal things, when you poop, do you stand up? Do you stand up or do you sit down to wipe?
Good transition.
Thank you. I have practiced.
Do I
them.
stand up or do I sit
So,
down?
yes, I recently got into a very heated argument with a
No.
group of friends of
Why?
mine.
Why does it matter to them?
I don't know, but I was also arguing very hard for my side, which is sitting down while you wipe.
Okay.
And I don't know why it was that big of a deal as to what you do.
Yeah.
But it was, and I'm curious to know because see, here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm 6'2". I'm a long boy. Most average bathroom stalls, if I stand up to wipe, I can see over the door. Especially when I went to TJC, if I ever stood up and there was someone in the bathroom, we made eye contact while I was wiping my butt. So I vowed.
Wait, you did make eye contact?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
You would make eye contact
I have made eye contact with someone while wiping my butt,
while standing up.
while standing up
Okay,
in the
so you
bathroom
used
of a
to stand
college.
up.
I did.
You used to be a stander.
I used to be a stander.
Now you're a sitter.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of a hybrid. Like, most of the time I
Oh.
would sit down, but sometimes I would stand up, just depending. But now I only sit. And
Okay.
I'm just
So
curious.
there's a lot of things I feel like I have to say here.
Basically, just say if you stand or you sit. Well,
No. No, we're gonna if you're gonna ask me, we're gonna
that's
talk
true.
about
We're gonna
this.
have to delve into it.
You know,
I know.
I've mentioned, and a few other people know too, because I'm pretty vocal about it.
You don't like to poop.
That is my least favorite thing in the world to have to do.
Mine is
every
sneezing.
day.
I don't sneeze every day.
You don't have to sneeze. It just happens sometimes, and it is against
And
your
that
will.
makes it so much
So when it
worse.
does happen, but like on the daily, I'm like, ugh, this is like a whole thing. I would rather be doing other things with my time.
Right, so I assume you use the most efficient method, which is sitting.
And really, I just don't like going to the bathroom in general.
At all.
Yeah. So I know there's a lot of like negativity.
I mean, I
to-
don't necessarily
no.
enjoy going to the bathroom.
So there's a lot of negativity to guys standing, not while pooping, but like
When
while
they pee?
peeing.
I
And I'm
sit when I pee
I am
sometimes.
very lazy.
There are multiple
And-
times that
A lot of times
I
I
sit.
have to stand and be busy.
Right.
And so like I like to take my I like to
if I'm here, I'm gonna be comfortable while I'm
when
doing
I can.
it. Yeah,
Like
that's
it-
understandable.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 mornings, I sit.
All of that to say, yeah, I sit.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy.
I don't know why that's.
But they all argued with me so viciously
All
about
plural?
standing. Yeah, there were 3 of them,
Oh my.
plus myself.
Okay.
And it was a heated argument about, anyway, something
And
that
good
I
transition to our sponsor, Poopery.
something
Oh,
that
I want to be sponsored by Poopery.
I
That'd
do
be-
too.
That would be awesome.
please, I'd be sponsored by anybody.
Hit the mic. Sorry.
Something that I often do while I use the bathroom is listen to music. And this week, the music that I listen to while going to the bathroom.
wait. Not everything has to have a transition.
No, so it's time for the
So,
music.
Small Space
Music Club.
Music Club. Welcome back. Welcome back. Like it's the beginning of the episode. It's the beginning of that part of the episode. You know what
Where
time
we
it
talk
is.
about music
Yeah.
that we've listened to over the week. So I'm going to go first because I let you go first last time. And I also just really want to talk.
Talk,
I'm
man.
enjoying it. So I had all my demons calling me a friend or something with those words.
Something like that.
What is
All
it?
my demons greeting me as a friend.
There it is, by Aurora. And I listened to the whole thing in its entirety because apparently we need to state that now. And I did not like it. I did not. It was interesting. Like, it was very chill. It was very relaxed while I was listening to it, but I almost felt like the beat of her music and her voice were fighting each other. Like, I couldn't quite pinpoint where it should be, which isn't always necessarily an issue, because I felt the same with Gorillaz, but for some reason, it was more appealing to me than that was, in a sense of it doesn't have a specific genre. It may have been her voice, but then sometimes I was like, wow, her voice is really pretty, but then sometimes I was like, that's annoying.
Yeah.
And so
there's a lot of times where she sounds a lot like Enya. I think that's like the closest person I can think of. You have no idea who that is.
I have heard of them, but never heard any music by that. Oh, yeah.
That song.
See, I'm probably going to get castrated for this by the only person that I know who listens to this and listens to this artist. I felt that sometimes I would equate her to Lana Del Rey if she were a bit more...
Enya or Aurora?
Aurora.
Or Aurora.
Aurora. Or Aurora.
Or Aurora.
Yeah.
Or.
I would pin her more towards... That's what her
Lana
voice
Del
sounded like
Rey.
to me. Yeah.
I don't listen to Lana Del Rey.
You should. She's beautiful and she makes great music.
Fantastic.
And she has a lot of features. But back to Aurora, it was okay.
Yeah. And so, like, are you saying the beat didn't, like, match, like, stylistically with her voice? Or, like...
Maybe my brain, like, couldn't put them together, but I've heard things like that before that I was like, yeah. So I don't know. I just...
that makes me sad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's how I
That makes
felt.
me real sad.
That's how I
There's
felt.
a couple of songs on that album that can be real hyped.
There were a few that I enjoyed that I would
like,
listen to this again.
Runaway.
Yeah.
The Running with the Wolves. She has like 2 running songs. And
She does.
And
The one thing that I...
Oh, The Eyes of a Child. It's like super like chill and pretty and
I
sad.
didn't like that one.
Oh, okay. Well.
Mostly because...
I mean, that one doesn't get me hyped.
Gotcha.
But when I hear it, I'm like, oh.
I only didn't like it because I felt like in some of her songs she was very repetitive with what she said lyrically. And maybe that's... I definitely don't have any stance to be like, oh, that's not music, because all rap music, for a good portion of it, is repeating the same things multiple times.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that today.
That is consistently what I listen to on a regular basis. So I would give this album a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh.
It's not bad.
We don't always rate the albums.
I tried to.
I think we've done it like once.
Yeah. Or I will continue to rate them. I give it a 6.5
Do we
out
want
of
to
10.
rate?
I do.
Man,
I think
I'm
it's
so
good.
bad at rating.
Just think of the best thing you've listened to. Like if you were to pick up any piece of music right now
Okay.
that you love, hold that to a 10 regard.
Okay.
And then anything that like the worst thing you've ever heard, hold that at a 0.
Okay.
And then
honestly, we're going from a scale of 0.
yeah, I guess 1 to 10.
1.
I mean, you can give it a 0, but if you give this album a 0, I'm gonna be pretty
gonna give it a
darn
0.
upset.
So I had, I almost said the wrong person. Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
Acid Rap.
Did you almost say Childish Gambino?
No, I almost said, I don't know who I almost said now.
I don't either.
One of the ones you already gave me, actually.
Oh, gotcha,
It was
gotcha,
one of those.
Kendrick Lamar?
No, it was
Anyway.
Tyler, the Creator.
Okay.
It was the.
Gotcha.
The
Chance
and the
Rapper,
at the
Tyler,
end.
the Creator. I gotcha.
Acid Rap. It was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That doesn't always mean it's good.
That wasn't. I mean, and that doesn't. But oh man. So everybody's doing the thing now, and I was even like with that one bit of music before, like experimenting with doing music that like doesn't line up with the beat. You know, like intentionally.
Right.
And so it's off. And he did that, and I was like, oh, it's that thing that everyone's doing. That's cool. And like rocking out, and then like a couple of songs later, I was like, that hasn't stopped.
A lot of...
And there's one spot in the album where it like is so like rhythmically in line, like all of a sudden that I'm like, oh, now this is like super jarring. I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. I'm just like, oh, okay.
That's not what I expected.
And then he goes one step further in one of the songs. I forget which one's which. I just listened to it
What happens?
without looking.
I can maybe tell you.
Where he intentionally sings out of
That's not
out of
him.
tune.
That's not
Is
him.
that not him? And that's like the hook.
So that song is featuring someone named Action Bronson, who I absolutely cannot stand.
Cool. So,
That is my...
I was like,
Yeah, that is my least favorite song on that album because of his feature.
that man.
was-
I was like, I'm trying. Okay, so here's my thing. I'm trying really hard to not be critical of everything in the world.
Right.
I used to be like that, and I went through a time where I was like better. And since we started doing this, I was like, oh man, I'm back into that again, apparently. And so like I get like I'm like I can see where things are done on purpose, and like it's an artistic thing, and sure, but
that was just awful.
you know,
no, I hate that part. I hate that.
Well, I mean other things as well.
Oh,
my least favorite song on the album was any one that he said na 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 in.
No, yeah, like the intro.
So there was like
and the
one that I
outro.
like. No, he does it in like every song.
Oh, when he wait, I guess I know
That's
what
his
you mean
brand apparently.
When he does what?
The na 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 na.
Oh,
Or what? I don't remember
Yeah,
the
that does
rhythm.
go through a few songs because he holds that.
And
that same
he does
theme.
it as like a.
Yeah, he has like a. He was in a weird spot.
Yeah, he does that, and he does a lot of crazy stuff, and I'm like, there was one song where I was like, I kind of like the nah. It might have been because there's one where it was just like that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was that one that was like, oh, this one fits. What was the song I liked? That's my jam. That's my song.
Oh. Yeah.
Whatever. I was kind of rocking
it's-
with that one.
That's the one with Childish Gambino. It's
That's probably why.
Oh, I can't think of the name right now. Oh, I can't. It's not coming to me. I'll have to look
It's
it up.
something like that's
But
my song. Or
It's
my
Childish
jam.
Gambino and Chance the Rapper, which is the best combination of artists
Yeah.
that can happen in a lot of outcomes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying the reason I wanted you to listen to Acid Rap is because I know you've listened to Coloring Book, which is his latest album, and I wanted to know how you, like, which.
Oh,
you
I don't remember them
preferred.
enough. Probably this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Me too.
I found myself liking this one more.
I did too.
Than not. The beats throughout, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where I'm like, you could take his voice off and just play the beat, and
And
I'd be
I'll
like,
listen the whole time.
I'd be down.
I really love Acid Rap. That's
There was also with part of me like being too critical.
Right.
I studied like
Music.
classical vocal music
right.
for a while in school, and so I have this sort of like perception that I'm trying to like break because I know you can't apply that to everything.
Oh, you're gonna
But
love
there's
this next one.
but there's one song toward the end where he's singing something that's like really low, and all I can hear is, "That's way too low for you. Why are you trying?"
Right.
Like, it sounds bad
Because
but I say, but you know that it does, and so you're just doing it on purpose, and so just do whatever you want forever.
just do it.
Like,
So if you had to give it a rating,
if I had to give a rating, I'd give it like a 6.
okay, I can live with that.
And that's like adjusted for that just not being a style of music that I like
Right.
am actively like
Listening to.
in tune with.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So the next album I have for you, you probably will not enjoy. I mean, you might. I don't know. We'll see. But it is Stoney by Post Malone.
So are any what are the big ones on that album? Because I know like a couple of his.
So you've heard. I'm sure you've heard Congratulations.
Okay.
I'm sure you've
skip
heard.
that one.
You can't skip it. I'm sure you've heard.
I've heard it though. So.
White Iverson.
Oh, I don't know. Basically, the main reason I was asking is because I hate Congratulations.
Okay, so you can skip Congratulations because it got overplayed for me too. But there are a few songs on that album that are really, really good.
Cool.
And it's really cool because he doesn't stay in that specific genre of hip hop, and I like that a lot. There's a couple of songs on there you're like, wow, this guy's not a one-trick pony.
A one-trick pony. He doesn't squeeze a wet dog onto
He
a white
does
man.
not squeeze a wet dog on a white man. If you know what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Is this the left field?
No.
Oh.
But it is still just weird. But
It's
I
different.
think I just listen to weird stuff apparently.
That's okay.
But it's like tame in a sense. It depends. You'll probably hate it.
Throw it at
It's
me.
gonna be Regina Spektor.
Oh, okay. I'm actually a bit receiving to her. Yeah, I really enjoy. Like, I know this is gonna be the most cliche thing to ever come out of my mouth, but I found...
I really enjoyed the Orange is the New
Well, I
Black
listened to the whole
theme song.
I listened to the whole song, and I've
Yeah.
heard a couple other songs off of some, I don't know what albums, in what order.
Probably. Yeah.
But I've listened to some of her music.
Well, this is her newest one,
Okay.
so you may or may not have heard it.
I don't think so.
Who knows? It's going to be called Remember Us to Life.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So that's that.
I think we did it.
That's a wrap. Episode 5
It is pretty much.
is done. You'll be able to find this on
YouTube with video. Oh my God. We're using a different camera.
Hopefully this one doesn't cut out or stop recording or anything.
So quick explanation. We got the video up last week.
Right.
There is video. It drops out 3 times
At 22 minutes, 41 seconds.
Because the camera, it automatically shuts off at 21 minutes, but then it immediately starts recording again. I say immediately, it's like
3 seconds after.
3 to 5 seconds. The last one was longer.
You know what's interesting?
What's that?
Even like high-end, like Canon and Nikon cameras still only have a 30-minute recording limit, which is so stupid.
It is. So we're using a different camera that we believe,
from what I can find,
from our personal experiences and from just
the
everything,
web, there should
that
be
it's not going to cut out
a full-length Small Space Podcast
video
on YouTube.
So hopefully, oh my God,
hopefully so.
That's the last piece that we've been
really
kind of
trying to
struggling
get
with
together.
In a sense. Like the audio only took us a week or two.
Episode 3 were solid.
Everything else, validating, getting it on iTunes was easier than recording it with a camera.
Definitely. So.
Which is dumb.
Right.
Because some of that was still kind of like confusing.
Right.
Google Play was actually the hardest one to get it on.
Yeah, I assume so. But
and
it's there.
I just lucked out with figuring that one out. I didn't look it up.
Anything. So, to recap.
We are on YouTube. Oh my God, with video.
iTunes Podcast. Google Play Music. SoundCloud. Those are all the platforms we're available.
That's where you can find it.
And
that's where your friends can find it when you tell them.
Right. And if you have friends who have an Android device and they use Castbox or any of the podcast apps, we are also available in those.
Yes.
It searches through all the libraries in Google Play Music as well as iTunes to bring you all the content such as Small Space Podcasts.
Oh, so professional. I got a little bored with it. No. So yeah, all that. New episode every Friday. We've been pretty good about it.
Yep.
Every Friday, new episode.
Not going to give you a time because
no,
that's for people who have their lives together.
No.
You get when we wake up.
Sometime between midnight Friday morning and 11:59 p.m. Friday night.
I would put it earlier than that, but
earlier than
it'll definitely be up before 11:59 tomorrow night.
I'm just saying, there's a 40% chance that it'll be up before 11:59 tomorrow night.
Yeah, I should probably be careful with how sure I am of things. My luck is the computer dies right now and the camera exploded 2 hours ago.
You shut your mouth, boy. So, new episode every Friday. Find it on all those places. Leave a comment,
a review, something,
whatever.
You can heart it on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
do that.
Let us know that you're there.
Just tell us,
even if you're just like, hey,
even if you just stop by.
Yeah.
Thanks for popping in.
Yeah.
You probably won't hear that though.
I was like, if you just pop in at some point, you're not going to hear this part probably.
Next time we should put that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Anyways, signing off.
We'll get better at this.
We will. We're working on it.
All right.
Adios.
Get out of here, you crazy kids.